Here's how I got from panic and grief to being turned on, empowered, and ready to move into my day with a completely different energy, all in the span of an hour. Have you ever woken up in the morning feeling really shitty and not knowing why? Like, how easy is it to identify where that unease is coming from? So today I woke up feeling kind of like this mixture of panic and grief. What's a little strange is that I really don't know where it's coming from. Feels like I have this rope pulling me backwards by the chest and like I want to get smaller physically. And there's this like deep-seated grief that I can feel inside my chest and in my belly, and I don't know why. So I'm going to work on that today. Let's see how it goes. The first thing that I did this morning to work through what I was experiencing is I used a processing tool. So I grabbed a sister and I worked a specific tool to go through what I was feeling, that panic, that grief. And what the place that I got to with that is that I think that what I was feeling is that I have a decision to make, and I was putting that decision outside of myself. So I think I was feeling panicky over the idea that I didn't have control over what was going to happen in the situation, or that I was waiting on someone else to make a decision that was going to affect me, that was going to change how I was going to need to decide. So the realization that like that's not actually true was really, really helpful for me. I still have some grief going on, but the panic seems to have gotten a little bit better. Bonus. We're going to go again. We're going to try something else. I decided to use an integration tool to move through the grief that was going on inside me. And what came up for me in the use of that tool is that what I was doing to myself in this decision that I kind of need to make is that I was telling myself that I need to choose between two really important parts of myself. And I don't want to say the truth, but it doesn't have to be an or situation. It doesn't have to be if I do this, then I can't do that. Or if you know me, if you're at all close to me, you know that it's one of the things in my vocabulary. I don't really say the word but very often. I try to avoid it. I try to do a yes, this is true, and here's the next piece. And sometimes we forget to use our own magic on ourselves. For me, what came through with this integration tool that I just used is really around this can be a this and situation. It means that I don't have to choose between two things that are important for me, because that's where that grief was coming from. Is if I have to choose between two things that really matter to me, then I am having to give up theoretically part of myself to be involved in one of those decisions, right? Or to go all in on it. And that doesn't have to be the case. That is really important to me moving forward so that I can stay in alignment with who I am, where I'm going, and the person that I want to be in this world. So the decisions that I make don't have to define me in that way. I think there's one other piece that I am kind of holding on to. So I'm going to go into that and then I'll be back. Okay, so the missing piece was around clarity for me on where I was going, what my priorities were, and what was actually in my pleasure to do. Which decision, what thing is something that's going to bring me the most joy, the most pleasure, the most alignment with my desires. And getting in touch with that brings me to the place where I am in now. Having done integration exercises that help me really work with what are my priorities? What is in my pleasure to do in this situation? Brings me to a place where I feel empowered now to be able to go forward and make decisions that feel good not only for me, but work for the other people involved too. And that is beautiful. So that's today. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.